Hello again, and welcome to another edition of Drummer Nation, the show for and about drummers, where we talk about all things drum and drumming with some of the best in the world. Today, we're going a little different route in that we're talking to an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur in the percussion industry. And my heart goes out to these guys because for many years I was one of them. You might remember I had a company called Cymbal Masters, and we were the brand managers for Bosphorus cymbals. We controlled the trademark and all that stuff. And then eventually we broke away and started our own company, Crescent Cymbals, which we partnered for Sabian to produce eventually, and then sold the company to Sabian. So I've been through the mill of this left and right, up and down, and I know what it's like, and I'm very supportive and encouraging to anybody trying to do the same. To that end, help me welcome Will Butera, whose company is called Kickblock. Hey, Will, how are you, buddy?
Hey, Michael, how's it going?
Good. Nice to always have a new friend. And I must commend you on having the cojones to jump in, man. It's not an easy run. So let's and you sent me the product we're going to get to, of course, and we'll look at the some pictures and videos and explore his website and all that. But first, let me say that, man, I just love the rug. It's been a drummer's bane. I've been gigging for 50 years, and I always had really crummy rugs. Many times I would be playing at a concert hall, not so much a concert hall, but a catering place, some kind of venue, a hotel, anywhere. And there'd be recarpeting, and I'd say, hey, cut me off a 4x6, man. And they would.
Yeah.
And I had this dirty, nasty rug that you have to train for 2 weeks so it'll fold. And then it's this big, ugly, heavy thing. And I had one once that was so ugly, I was playing in a concert hall, and they wouldn't let me use it. It had it looked like it was from a casino or something. It had like yellow stripes and stars, and it was crazy. And they said, no, we'll get you a nice Persian rug, put it underneath there. So your rug is fantastic, and it folds, and it's easy to carry, and it's made in the U.S. We'll talk about all that. But first, let's talk about you. You're a drummer, I presume.
Yeah. I am a drummer, always will be, but I was a touring drummer for like 10 years, I guess.
10 years, yeah.
Like from like 20 to 30, basically.
So you dealt with the rug thing all the time.
Yeah.
And said, man, this sucks. What can I do?
Yeah, exactly.
So how'd you go about it?
So I actually, while I was touring, I had the sliding kick drum problem the whole time, and I just was tired of it. So I came up with my own way to stop it, and it was with the help of my dad. I worked with my dad on it, and we kind of I wanted to just nail something to a rug, but we were in a minivan, and so it couldn't, if you nail a piece of wood to a rug, you got to roll it, and then it's this massive thing. And we had 5 guys in the band, merch, luggage for a month, all the instruments in a Toyota Sienna, so wasn't going to work with a full rug. And so I wanted, something that I could take on and off and then fold up a rug really compactly. So that's how I came up with Kickblock. And, kind of used my own, and at every venue I went to for that tour, the sound guys were like, hey, what do you got there? And everyone was interested. The drummers in the other band were interested. And so
I got to tell you, I set mine up on a gig the other night, and the bass player walks in and goes, wow, what a great rug.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody noticed it right away. And it wasn't because it was flaming blue and green and yellow with lights on it. It was just a great rug.
Yeah, the rug we came up with, we always wanted to do it. And it was way more complicated than I would have thought heading into it. Couldn't find anyone to make the rug I wanted. And so then just kind of finally, 3 years ago, settled on or maybe a little more than 3 years ago, settled on just making it ourselves. And took a while, took a lot of research. We made our own formula for the carpet. It looks like a nice regular rug, but it's a specific blend that we had to go back and forth with and dial the different fiber amounts to make it exactly what we want, between being flexible to fold up and be compact, but then also lay out flat, not be flimsy, to hold the Velcro really well.
Well, let me jump in
and
on
not.
that because
Oh
that's
yeah,
been the issue is they're
yeah,
too big or they don't fold up well, or a lot of
yeah.
times they have the soft fuzzy part you put your drums in, but there's nothing underneath it as a backing, so the whole damn
Right,
rug will move.
right,
Or
exactly.
it's made out of the chintzy stuff that's underneath, and the pedals go through it, and you throw those away. Or it
Yeah,
has a block in the front of the bass drum, but you have to roll the whole thing up, and it's gigantic, or it's flimsy
yeah,
and it falls apart. I've been through
yeah,
those, every one of them.
yeah, yeah,
So you solved all those problems one by one.
yeah, yeah. And it took, finding one thing, figuring out how to fix it, then you get to the next thing. So like every little piece of that rug is something I had to like think about and find the right material for and find out how to make it. And so it's been cool. It's been like a whole new journey. The
Mhm.
kickblock, was one thing, and that's a whole, the great thing about them is they're small. For years I did it all in my parents' basement. I would just drive out there, work for the day, drive home.
A lot of great
Now,
companies start in your garage, man.
yeah, yeah. And so now the rugs kind of forced me into a warehouse because they're just, I did 2 months or 3 months in my parents' basement and I could fit like 10 rugs at a time.
I
And
did.
I was like
Now
knocking
you're
things
dealing with
over.
shipping and receiving and
Yeah.
warehousing
Yeah.
and maybe trade show gear and marketing
Yeah.
materials and boxing
So
and
there's a lot.
it's a
Yeah. A
lot.
lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the whole back end of the thing is the part where nobody thinks about.
Yeah.
And then how
Yeah.
about you had to do the whole business license and all that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that, you know, it's trickier. And every time I come across one of those things, it's a headache, but you do
Start a
those not fun
business,
things.
incorporate,
Yeah.
business license, and you got to take care of the other things that people don't think about. Like somebody's got
Yeah.
to deal with who's paying for your data plan and your
Yeah.
garbage disposal and
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
phone and your internet connection and
Yeah.
insurance. And it gets to be a big deal. And then, of course, the biggest
Mhm.
of them all, probably, regardless of the product, is marketing. When I
Yeah.
first saw your stuff, I thought you had a marketing background or that you'd been
Oh,
had another company. It wasn't your first rodeo.
no, no. Yeah.
No?
That just kind of trial and error, just
Well, it's very
watching
well
different.
done. It all has to
Oh,
fit
thank
like it's
you.
born of the same mother, and it all supports the product and the image, and all this stuff came with the rug you sent me, and they're all
Yeah.
top
Yeah.
notch, man. They're all
Oh,
top
thanks.
notch. The
Thank you.
I'll show you a little bit of them. This one stops your drum. It talks about what it does, front and back.
Yeah.
Feel the grip, hear the rip, because it's
Yeah.
Velcro,
Yes.
and we'll talk about
Yeah.
that. You get a groovy sticker. Everybody loves stickers.
Yep.
Here's just a title card, but it's open on the inside. You got plenty of cool information here. And the other
Yeah.
thing I thought when I took it out of the bag was, I'll never get it back in this damn bag. I'm dealing with camping and backpacking.
Yeah.
And, you take a nice
Yeah.
big tent out of a bag, and the first thing you think is, I'll never get it back in. But
Yeah.
how do I fold it, right? Because nobody remembers. Well, you have that. Bing, boom. And then putting
Yeah.
it in the
Yeah.
bag, it folds about, we'll show you, about maybe, yay long. And instead of having an opening on the end where you have to try to push it in, you have what they call a
Yeah.
burrito bag, which means it opens along the side. And it's liberally spaced so you can fit the rug in and the kick block. We'll talk about that. And it all works,
Yeah.
man. And it's easy to do. Then you have something
Yeah.
called the pedal block. Here's the kick block with the pedal block is something that Velcros in front. We'll show it from the website in a minute. And the drum stops here, another good one. So your marketing is spot on, man.
Oh, thank
And
you.
another thing is, in baseball they say hit them where they ain't, right? So
Yeah.
you're not trying to go up against the big guys, who you're not stealing anybody's thunder if you're trying to go up
Yeah.
against Meinl and Remo and Firth and Zildjian and everybody else. It's just
Yeah.
a rug. It's a complement, an accessory.
Yeah.
So you have a little more clear sailing there.
Yeah. Which is nice because I like to be, friendly with everyone.
Right.
And it's also a lot of these products are just like, I want to make things that I want as a drummer. If there's something out there, I'm just going to go and use it. There's no use in me making another one and just sticking my name on it. Like I'd rather create something that has some need to it.
Right. So let's talk about the rug itself. It's made, sourced locally in Pennsylvania, are you?
Yeah, so we make it all ourselves.
When
We
you say make it yourself, you don't have a rug factory in the backyard, right? I mean,
right. So
you
I work
design
with
it
a
and spec it out to a manufacturer.
well, so for the carpet material, we have designed that and have a manufacturer that makes that material exclusively for us.
Right.
And we get big rolls of it shipped, and then we get it shipped to us. And
Well, that's
we
making
have
it yourself. I just want people to be aware of the process.
yeah. So not like I don't have a carpet mill, but I had like
Right.
we cut and bind it. You know, the edging tape, that's us. The logos, that's us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stitching those on.
Really? Wow. There's a lot of great attention
Yeah,
to detail on this rug, and it's
yeah,
thick. So you have the rug, but you also have a backer too, right?
yeah,
What's
yeah,
on the back?
and
Tell me what you can without having to kill me.
yeah, yeah. So that's that gets put on at the carpet factory, and so it's like kind of fused together. So it's not just glued on and going to separate. It's like
Right.
when everything's produced, it's all done together, and so that is just like a nice quality like rubber that just
Very high
creates
quality,
good
but then you have to
traction.
deal
Yeah,
with weight. I mean, you can make it
yeah,
bulletproof, but it's going to weigh a ton, and then it has to
yeah,
fold easily, and then it has to be durable.
yeah,
And
yeah.
hitting on all those cylinders is not easy to do, and you have done it. I really
Exactly.
appreciate that.
Oh,
All right.
thank you,
Well,
thank you.
before we get to looking at the product itself, let's talk about how did you position your company? You have to do marketing. Somebody has to be aware that it's
Mhm.
available. How did you approach that?
Yeah, for a while, for like, so we've been doing this for like 6 years now, and probably for the first three, I was not doing a good job. It just Instagram, but I'm not big on using social media. Just it's not something that comes naturally to me. And then I found one of my good friends' older brothers was into like social media marketing, Facebook marketing, and he just kind of showed me the ropes and what to do. And that that kind of really opened things up for us because that got us seen by a lot more people. And then that let things like, word of mouth and social media kind of take off. Like we just needed to get that boost in the beginning. But
Mm-hmm.
for the marketing, as far as the video creation goes, I've always loved making videos. That like, I think if I didn't find drums, I would have just fell in love with video making.
Your videos are great. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
I
they're
came
a
at
lot
it
of fun to do.
kind of that way too. I had a cymbal company. We had to put ads in magazines at the time, and
Yeah,
they were $2, $3, $4, $5,000 a page, and they were 4 or 5 magazines, and it came out every month.
yeah,
So pretty much, and video was exploding at the time, and I thought, well, maybe I should just drop in a video studio. And most of this stuff is stuff I had when I had the company. That's how I ended up with video. But it's very effective
yeah,
marketing. Now, how about distribution? Do you sell it direct? Do you sell it through
yeah.
dealers? Do you have
It
a
is.
distributor? How do you do that?
We do a little bit of everything. So we do work with Big Bang, and they're great.
Bob
Brent,
Kasha,
everyone
I
over
know
at Big
him. Yeah,
Bang,
he's a good guy.
Bob's son. Yeah, and his son Ryan. They're great to work with, and
Hmm.
so we sell through them to stores. We sell to some international distributors, and then we also sell direct on our site, and then through Amazon. And so every now and then we get the chance to sell in person, like at some store events, or I
Right.
went down to the Music City Drum Show. So there,
I was
get to
there. I
do
didn't
a
see
little
you.
bit
I'm
of
sorry
everything.
about that. Well, you just there this
Oh,
past
that's okay.
summer? I didn't go this past
Yeah.
summer. I was there the last 2 years.
Oh yeah. No, this was our first one. We
Oh,
so
okay.
we hadn't done an event since like the 2020 NAM, and
Missed you
so this
there.
was our
Yeah, so
first.
now let's talk about those events because they're very expensive.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
are they a marketing event? Are they a sales event? I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
You're
Right.
really not supposed to sell off the floor of NAMM, and if you have dealers, it angers them that you're selling against them. So
Yeah.
you end up spending a
Yeah.
fortune for a booth that is aimed at a conference for dealers when most of your business is probably not through dealers.
Right.
And it's very expensive, but it's a great hang and it's a lot of fun, and it really allows you to meet everybody in the industry. That's where I met
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we went in 2020 and that was great. And that got us a lot of great connections.
Mhm.
And just was a good way to just kind of say like, we're legitimate, it's not just, for
Sure.
people to see it and puts a face to the name, puts
Y-
like okay, that company's here and
You're on the
working
floor with the
towards
big
something.
boys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
exactly. So,
Now, let me
but
explain what
haven't gone
happened
back.
to me, though. When I started with this, it was like I got the company 2004. You know, YouTube didn't come out till like
Yeah,
2007, the iPhone 2007. It was like 2010 before it really all got rolling. And the internet stuff was just starting to happen with internet sales, and dealers hated it. So, because
yeah,
they were not hip to that, they didn't have their own websites and their own stuff to sell online. And
right.
so I would hear, well, Michael, you have an illegitimate business model because you're selling to dealers who sell online. They call
Yeah,
that channel conflict, right?
yeah,
You can't open a Harley dealer anywhere. You know, you have to, and they space them out and they protect that. Well, the internet blew all that out because anybody can
yeah,
sell anything anywhere.
yeah.
So you've come along a little later in the picture when that's now it has to happen. One of the things it did was it opened it up for a lot of small companies to come in because little
Mhm.
companies couldn't get into the drum shop. Say, how many brands can they carry? You
Yeah,
know, there's like 150 cymbal brands out there. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
same amount of drums, same amount of everything. So that shift towards online, the dealers had to accept, and then they started making their own offerings.
yeah.
My favorite one is Cymbals Only, Memphis Drum Shop, because they sell video
Mhm.
files and all that. In any event, it's more clear sailing for you now, and that's great. I'm glad to see that. We all knew it was going that way. It just was some rough
Yeah,
sailing for a while.
yeah. In the beginning, there was a little bit of the tail end of, when I
Push
was first calling shops,
pushback,
and yeah, because some people would say, well, I see you're selling this on your site, like I can't, you're offering, like I can't sell it online too if you have it on your site. And
right?
it was a little bit of, but I think everyone's kind of come around. Like I personally, I could not survive as a company if I wasn't selling direct. Like
Exactly.
it's a small product, and it's not a mass market, so I wouldn't be able to keep being in business if I wasn't able to do that. And there's still more than enough sales to go around. We do great business with
Right,
Big Bang, and they send out to shops, and so
right.
it's almost like the way I kind of view it is one market medium doesn't eat the other. Like if someone's going to buy at a store, they're going to buy in the store, and
Hmm.
so we give that kickbox to the shop there. If they're going to buy on Amazon, they're going to buy on Amazon. If they're going to buy off of Sweetwater, they're going to buy off
Hmm.
Sweetwater. Like people just buy where they want to buy, and you got to
Yeah,
meet
and
them where
woe
they
to the
are.
businesses that don't listen to them. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
so most of the people who are firmly objecting to that are out of business now, and then the people who are there do have their websites and offer
yeah.
online.
Or hopefully they kind of came around and saw, okay,
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah.
I gotta adapt.
Well, I'm glad it's the way it is. It's better for the consumer because they have much more
Yeah.
availability. Let's look at your website. I know you won't mind if I punch that up.
Oh yeah, go for it.
There it is.
It,
Amazing, this world of technology. Kickblock.
yeah.
I can control that from here. I should be able to. Yeah, it is. And bass drum creep with only 6 ounces. Oh, that's the kick block. Let's talk about this. You have the rug here, which is a high quality rug, and then you have something. And the key thing about the rug, as I understand it, is that it supports Velcro.
Mhm. Yeah.
So the next step was to put a kick block in front of it that just Velcros right in front of the kit wherever you put the bass drum. And it's
Yeah.
solid as a rock, man. It's great, which led to maybe one for the hi-hat, and that's what this pedal block is, or double bass
Yeah.
drums, right? And then the other
Yeah.
thing is that the
Exactly.
rug is big enough to accommodate a big kit. I mean, I used to
Yeah.
get a 4x6. This one I just read it was 5.5 by 6.5 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
it'll accommodate
it's
everything. Well, I encourage everybody to go to the website. What's the URL?
so you can do kickblock.com, you can do kickblockstuff.com, kickblockproducts.com, but kickblock.com is the easiest.
And what are all the by the way, it comes in with a nice bag, as we talked about. It goes over your
Yeah.
shoulder. Because I'm a big fan of everything has to go in at one time. When we're
Mhm.
freelancing as drummers, you don't know where the hell you're going to be, right?
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
leave half the stuff in the car, you might come back and find the car is empty.
Yeah.
So you're able to stack up your stuff on a cart, and this could go over your shoulder or over the top and bungee it down. It's very easy to move around. It doesn't weigh. I mean, it's not 2 pounds. It's like, what, 9 pounds or something.
Yeah. It's 8 pounds, 4 ounces,
There you go.
depending on your model. One is 8 pounds, I think 9 ounces. So
Okay, so it's not going to add a lot of weight, especially when carrying
right.
hardware and cymbals and all that stuff. But it's durable.
Yeah.
So what are all the products? You have the drum rug in 2 different sizes.
Yeah. So we have there's the standard drum rug and the deluxe drum rug, and they're both 5.6 by 6.6, and the they both come with the bag. They both are the same material. The one difference is for the deluxe, you get weighted corners and cable management straps in the
Right.
bag.
That's cool too.
And then we have the kick block and the pedal block.
Mm-hmm.
The kick block for the bass drum, pedal block for hi-hat pedal, double kick pedal, like trigger pedals, auxiliary percussion pedals, anything like that. Then we have a couple of special edition rugs that we release every now and then. We can't always make them, but sometimes we do an 8x8, and then we also do a 4x4.
Right.
And we release those in like small batch releases 2 to 3 times a year.
4x4 would be good for electronic kit
Yeah.
or a bebop kit.
Yeah, we've
Small
had
kit.
keyboard players love them. And so we're hoping to get to a point where we can keep those more in stock. And
You know what? I actually did the
produce them
math on this.
constantly.
I saw somebody had a rug turned. See if I have something that's square in front of me. I don't. Let's just use a business card. Okay, so if this is the rug, and let's say it's square, you could turn it that way. Put the bass drum
Yeah.
here. So then you have, I actually did the math on this. You have the hypotenuse. So a 4x4, is equal to like 5.5 feet diagonally.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
you can even
yeah.
turn it that way. I've never seen anybody do it, but
Yeah.
it occurred to me that, you just turn the square angular and you have a longer side bass.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the 4x4 people have been loving. And
Kidneys right there. Kidneys.
when you fold it up, it's like this big, like it's real small. So you can just chuck that.
So you
in
have
one
any other
hand.
products in the offing? Something are you gonna? Let me ask you this, because I've had friends who had businesses and
Yeah.
they say, "Man, my business is going great, but it's only paying me. I get like 10 grand a year out of it." And I say, "Well, that's terrific. What's wrong with that? Why don't you invent something else?"
Yeah.
So you don't have delusions of becoming Yamaha with this. What are your goals?
Yeah, so we have a couple different things in the pipeline. The only one I can sort of talk about is we have like another iteration of we have a hand towel, and now that was great. I just have sweaty hands, so I wanted a hand towel. Now we have a upcoming hand towel that has like a real cool like innovation to it, which can't talk about yet, but
Right.
I'm excited about
I'm
it.
not asking you to, yeah. But the idea is to continue adding accessory products.
Yeah. And then we have a couple more exciting accessories that a little further down the pipeline because they're just more complex. They're in fields that, materials and, production processes that I haven't dealt with before. But it's fun, every time
You're having
we do
fun.
that.
And you're a young man. You have plenty of time. Do you have an exit strategy, or you just want to keep this going and give it to your children? And
Yeah, I have no plan of leaving anytime soon. And as long as I can keep making things that are of value to people, I'll keep going. And the moment someone screams, no more kick blocks, I'll keep going. And then a couple years after that, I'll think about stopping.
It's all determined by the market,
Yeah.
You can say what you want about capitalism, but the marketplace decides what works and what doesn't.
Right.
And if it doesn't work, it should fail. And if it does work, it should succeed. So you're doing a very good job in covering all the bases. The marketing is terrific. The product is terrific. The price is commensurate with the other products out there that are good. You get what you pay for.
Yeah.
I've seen some rugs that are $40-$50, but between you and I, they suck.
Right. And we do our best. It's tough. A lot of the cheap rugs are made overseas and in bulk by massive companies that can do like runs of like tens of thousands or
Right.
thousands at a time, and
But
we're
then you got to
making
deal
them
with
one by
international
one.
shipping, and that sucks too. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
You put it on a plane,
So
you can put it on a boat. It takes forever, no matter which. You think if you're
yeah,
flying
yeah,
it in, it would come right away. No, because you're a small player. They fly these
right.
containers, you know. So it may
Yeah,
have 5 stops along the way. It could take a month to get there flying.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
And then you have to store all those somewhere. So we're, I last night was making about 10 rugs, and I every night probably for the last 2 weeks and probably for the next 3 weeks I'll be there till 8 or 9 at night.
Do you have any employees?
I do. So we typically have 1 to 3 employees. Right now I just have one main employee and another part-time. And couldn't do. For years I did it solo, and it was just more for the company. Like I could just pay someone to hang out with me, and that would be fine. But it just helps. We get more done, and it just on a production line. One person to 2 people is like you do things 4 times faster just because you can do all this stuff, and someone else does one thing, the other does the other, and just constantly
I had the
goes.
same issue. My son worked with
Yeah.
me. He did a great job, and we pretty much did everything except we outsourced the stuff we couldn't do. I had a graphics guy, a marketing cat,
Yeah.
who was fantastic. He worked for a large drum company, so he was able to do us on the side because it didn't interfere, didn't compete.
Yeah.
And I loved that, and he helped me with all that stuff. We outsourced accounting, outsourced payroll,
Yeah.
legal. I'm not a lawyer, but
The accounting would be the next step for me. That's the bane of my existence. Typically,
I didn't like it either.
yeah.
Do you
if
use
someone,
QuickBooks, or what are you using?
I use a thing called Zoho, and it has a great integration for like inventory management as well.
Mhm.
And so I can take every piece of foam and every piece of Velcro and every little thing I can show
Everything
in
to
the inventory.
build
It
list,
goes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the
So
inventory is right at your fingertips. So if you're thinking about a business in the percussion industry, remember all this stuff we're talking about.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
going to have to do that too.
yeah.
You're going to have
But
to.
don't let it scare you.
Don't let it scare you. Just walk through it. You learn it as you go. Get some help when you
Yeah.
need it. But you need to
Yeah,
incorporate.
exactly.
You need to have a brand. You need to have a trademark. You need to have all that
Yeah.
stuff. Then you have to have marketing, and you have to have distribution. You have to have production and importing and exporting and warehousing and front office, back office, all that stuff. If you want to
Yeah.
run a company, that's what you have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not always fun, but it's overall I think it's fun. Yeah, but
I got a few more gray hairs when I did it. But,
Yeah, yeah.
You're still a young man.
Yeah, they're popping up.
The gray hairs will come, believe me.
Every
All right,
tax
man.
season.
So it's working for you. You're making a
Yeah.
living. You're making some profit at this. You're not staying up all night biting your nails and,
Yeah.
wolf at the door and
we're-
all that stuff. Good for you, man. Good for you.
We're swimming. We're treading water and
There
swimming.
you go,
a bit.
baby.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's my pleasure to meet you, and you have a great product, and I wish you lots of luck. We'll put the links to your website into the show notes below the video you're watching now. And I would encourage everybody watching to please hit that subscribe button. It helps more than you can know. And go to Will's website and subscribe there too, or YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel too?
We do.
Yeah.
Kind of like all my social media. It's
Of course, yeah.
low on the
so friend
effort,
him on Facebook and whatever the social medias are, but make sure you hit subscribe on the YouTube channel. Anything else you want to add to this?
Everybody keep drumming, keep playing music, and that's it. That's all you have to do.